Good morning, church. So for those who've been around for a while, you're familiar with Immanuel Youth, you're familiar with Immanuel Kids, and because we're very original, we're going to add Immanuel Adults on June 6th when we go forward as one. So during that first hour, Sunday school hour from 9 a.m. to 9:55, there will be Immanuel Adults. And when you go there, you're going to have two options. The first option is going to be to attend a prayer room. So again, if you've been around for a while, you know what these are. We have a prayer guide that we work through, and then we take personal prayer requests after that. And it's really 55 minutes dedicated to the important work of prayer. And again, if you were here last week, you heard from Nate Sheen, but I just want to emphasize prayer is a work. The apostles fell asleep. Who's ever fallen asleep at work? Prayer's hard. You have to press on, but it's work because just like all other work, it produces something. And in God's mysterious sovereignty, He accomplishes things when His people pray. So we don't want to neglect that, and we've got two prayer rooms for those who just want to go to prayer for the entire time. The second option will be to attend an adult education room. In these rooms, you see the breakdown of time up there. There will be 30 minutes of teaching at the front end, and still guarding that 25 minutes for the important work of prayer. So all these rooms will have prayer in them, but in these education rooms, you're going to get 30 minutes of teaching at the front end. This teaching is a little bit shorter maybe than what you're used to if you've ever gone to a discipleship class in the past, but really 30 minutes is still a long time to accomplish a lot, especially as we're doing this week after week, month after month, year after year, to get a lot of teaching. Now, this is where I need everybody listening. I'm going to ask you to repeat after me. When I come on June 6th and go to Sunday school, I am going to pick a room, not a class. What are you going to do? You're going to... That's right. Because if you've had the joy of being in the prayer rooms, you really develop a familial group in there. You know your brothers and sisters well. You know their hurts, their sorrows, their happinesses. And we want to cultivate that in the adult education rooms as well. So unlike in the past where maybe if you saw, oh, here's a parenting class, here's a class on Matthew, here's a class on Providence, I want to go to that class, you're not going to do that. Everybody's just told me you're not going to do that. You just told me you're going to pick a room, not a class. And the reason we want to do that is we want to cultivate within these adult education rooms that same familial feel that the prayer rooms have, that it's the same brothers and sisters you're going to the room with week after week. And so one of the added benefits of that is, let's say when you've had that class on God's providence, that He's in control of everything, and 3 weeks later, that sister in that class mentions just this real hardship she's going through, you can point her back and say, remember when brother came to the class and taught us how God is in control. Or maybe there's those new parents in the class, and they don't remember anything because they're not getting any sleep, but you could say, remember 6 months ago when Pastor Jeff came and taught us on parenting. Here's some principles I'd like to encourage you through. So that's the joy of not just picking a class that you want to receive information from, but really picking a room, committing to that room, and committing to the brothers and sisters in that room to be discipled as a family. Now you might be thinking, well, will I not get the class that I want? You pick a room, we'll bring the classes to you. So if you see this cycle up here, I like to think of it as a lazy river. No matter where you enter, if you stay in that river, you'll get to see all the sights. You'll get to see everything. You can wait in line like a good boy, or you can jump off the side and just dive in and see if you can grab a floaty on the way around. Whatever way you want to do it. When you dive into that lazy river and stick with it, you will get everything. So on a 12-month period, once you have picked your room, not a class, over 12 months, every class is going to get exactly the same teaching because the teachers will cycle through, but those in the class won't. So how are we going to pull this off? You already saw, I believe, the leaders of the prayer rooms. On June 6th, we're going to have 5 Immanuel adult rooms open. 2 of those will be the prayer rooms. The other 3 will be these adult education rooms led by these folks behind me, the Cones, the Kitzmillers, and the Gartmans. These individuals are going to be what we're calling a room host. They're going to be the leader in the room. They're going to be responsible for building community within the room, ensuring the prayer guide is worked through, and keeping the room on schedule, that the teacher starts on time, that the prayer gets the time that it's needed, and that you get the transition to the worship service on time. But as I said, the teachers will move to room. So let's say Jeff is maybe teaching for 6 weeks in the Cones room. When he's done, he might move on to the Kitzmiller's room, but you won't. If you've picked the Cones room, you're going to stay in that room, and a new teacher with a new topic will be brought to you. We're not going to have any sign up, and we imagine people will move from class to class in the first couple of weeks, and that's fine, but we really do want to encourage you to settle down and land in a room where you'll see the same faces week after week, and you can really be discipled in community. These rooms, we also want them to be child-friendly, so during this time, the Sunday School hour, there's going to be options for all kids of all ages, from nursery, Immanuel kids, Immanuel youth. However, if there's any reason you want to or need to keep your child with you, we don't want that to be a hindrance from you coming to this room. So feel free to come with your child. If they need a little extra attention, you can step out into the hallway and ensure that they get that. But these rooms will be child-friendly if you're keeping your children with you. So I can't wait. It's just a few more weeks to go to one service with you. It's going to be a joy to have everybody in here. And I'm really excited to look back in a couple of years and just see what the Lord has done as we've committed ourselves to hearing His Word, being built up through these Sunday School hours, really all of our kids as well, and just see the fruit that the Lord will bring of that by His grace. Thanks.